You Talk family, what go on? What go on? This your boy D with another live show with You Talk. And y'all know how we start off every show. It ain't no me. Without you, baby. Kane Nation, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? How you been doing? Happy Friday to you. It's been a minute, 2 weeks. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everybody is good. Hope you're doing all right. Kane Nation, what's going on, man? A couple of things that's transpired since the last time we talked, and we gonna get into it tonight. Y'all know how I start off every show, man. I gotta give a big shout out to the super producer, my homeboy, Mr. King Judge.
DJ Production in the building.
King Judge, what's going on, big dog? King Judge, what it do? Hope all is well. Shout out to my player partner in the building. Mr. Cuban Kane is in the building, man. Cuban Kane, what it do, big dog? What's going on? Let's get into the businesses. Let's run down, man. First of all, let's jump into the happy birthdays, man. Let me say a big happy birthday, some special happy birthdays to my homeboy Larry Frank Jr., man. I want to say happy birthday. Josh Ayers, I see you, baby. Jeffrey O'Neal, I see you. You in the building. What's going on? Larry Frank Jr., happy birthday, big dog, man. Happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed it. You know I love you, boy. Shout out and happy birthday to my homeboy Chris Flanagan and my big bro, my OG, Wendell Moore down there in Orlando, Florida. Shout out to my player partner, my homeboy Corey Liberty City Boy Baker. Happy birthday, Corey Liberty City Boy. I see you, big dog. Happy birthday to Gustavo Tava, Nicole Bush, Rob Lee, Bennett, Marin, and Pavi Vega. Happy birthday on behalf of the Utah family and Kane Nation. Happy birthday. I got you, Cuban Kane. I'm going to get into it and run this roll call, brother, and we finna get into it. So I got you, Cuban Kane. That's what's up. So let's go, man. Businesses. Shout out to Catan's Fashion, Tanya and Teddy Chisholms, man. Check them out when you get a minute, man. Catan's Fashion, man. Shout out to my boy Matt Hollow over at Plum Life. Chris Flanagan over at Avalon. Shout out to Shanika Pendergrass over at Herb Velocity. Joe Neville Terry. Hollis Watts over at Rushbox. Shout out to Jacinta Kirkland over at Sugar Coated Cupcakes and Sweets LLC. Shout out to my homeboy Bobby Sarah down there in Miami, Florida, over at Mentor Me, doing his thing, giving out game for free. Check him out. Bobby Sarah, what it do? Shout out to my homegirl down there in Orlando, Florida, Jesse Lamberg over at Naturally Bomb. What's going on? And shout out to my homeboy Leroy Vien over at Smile Studio Orthodontics. That's my brother, man. What's going on, Leroy Vien? I see you, boy. Shout out to Wiley over at Unique Stitches LLC. That be bringing you all of the Utah merchandise. Wiley, what it do? It's all about the you. Shout out to Wiley over at Unique Stitches LLC. Shout out to our player partner and former Kane, Marquez Williams, over at Pop Socks. Cool and crazy, wacky, off the wall socks, man. Check him out over at popsocks.com. That's my guy. Marquez Williams, what it do, boy? I see you. Shout out to Young and the Boy, Coach Star and TP the Prophet. That's the music you're going to be hearing tonight. Shout out to Adrian Braswell for the artwork. And shout out to my player partner, E. Grizzy, over at hashtag Just Saying Sports. E. Gray, what it do, big dog? What's going on, E. Gray? Now let's get into the shout outs, the Utah family. Here we go. You know I got to shout out everybody that's in the chat right now, man. Shout out to Cuban Kane, Josh Ayers, Jeffrey O'Neal. What's going on, man? Those are my guys, man. George Diaz, what's going on? I see you, baby. Let's go, man. You talk shout outs. Shout out to Jamal Davis, Benny and Kimberly Barrett down there in Orlando, Florida this week, just chilling on vacation. Shout out to the whole Barrett family. What it do? Happy anniversary, Miss Barrett. What's going on? Shout out to Cyrus Sumter, Tremaine Daniels, Vinny Souter, Chad Lewis, Hiram Williams, LaTroy Hillary, Jimmy Brown, Steve Watson, Brittany and Kevin, what's going on? Eric Brown, some of our You Talk family members and Kane alumni, Eric Brown, Kenny Kelly, Tamika and LaVar Scott, What's going on? Dexter Ziegler, what's going on? What's going on, Dexter Ziegler? Big dog, what it do? Charles Forms, what it do, man? That's some of the Hurricane alumni right there. Shout out to Milo Stimson, Chris Otis, Felix Miller, Eric and Susie Connor, Donald Gordon. Donald Gordon. Shout out to my boy, Randy Todd Pramal, John J.T. Thomas. Shout out to Otis Ford, Earl Collins, Dion Washington, Carisha Williams, Cara Strong, Gail English, Robert Uncle Buck Brown, Eddie, and George Lord. Shout out to Cedric Tate, James Pop Jones, Corey Taylor, Kevin Taylor, Gerald Hawkins, Tony and Emmanuel Vasquez, what it do? Jamal Booth Stevenson, what's going on? Daryl Love, Danielle Carroll, Quest, a.k.a. The Diesel Brown, what it do? Tim Jordan, what's going on? Kevin Glenn, Mike and Jeff Caldwell, Tariq Brooks, Shane Cronin, Jose Martinez, David Avila, Troy Woodard, Toya Cook, Milton Scoop Austin, Eric B. Tate, Sean Po'boy Pugh, Ronnie LeBou, Leonard Geechee Evans, what's going on? Terry West, Sheldon Curl, Johnny White, Donald Strange, Justin Williams, Merle Robinson, Jason Massey, Brian Big B Wheaton. Glad to see you back on your feet, Big B. What's going on? I love you, boy. Justin J. Berg Jackson, what it do? LD down there in Mohaven, Florida. Joe Carter, BJ Pence, Diana Lisa Q, Cecil, Willie, Johnny, and Tyrone Perry. What's going on? Mario Beltran, Larry Elbone Griffin, Brian Maycott, Madonna Jamila, Latoya, Susie Q Jackson, James Curtis Jackson, a.k.a. Pookie, Reggie and Jamal Weddington, what it do? Rayshawn Evans, Wayne Foster down there in College Park, Georgia, Douglas Ferguson, Gwen and Norris, Gordon Frank Hilton, Demetrius Jeep Gray, Marvin V. Law, Latuan Ferguson, what's going on, big dog? James Edward Leach, Percy Hicks, Brian Starnes, Jamorion Davis, Jaquarius Weathers, Leon Reginald, and Rob Bass. Corey Allen, what it do? And that is Sherry Lewis, Jeffrey O'Neal, like I say, he in the chat, what it do, Jeffrey? Trina and Travis Colvin, D Breezy out there on the west side of California, what it do, D Breezy? Ernestine Fleming, Cheetah McCullough, John Green, April Clark, Ramsville down there in Parish, Florida, Beverly Kuzak, Reggie Hurd, Samuel Kennedy, Eric Myrick, and of course my boy Larry Frank Jr. again. Happy birthday, big dog. I see you. Let's go over to the North Georgia Canes chapter. Kevin Westwood, Joseph Virgo, Henry Cowsey, Laverne Rowe, Kiki Diaz Vault, what's up, baby? Nick McClure, Renee Alvarez, Cedric Catman Smith, Kyle Gray, Richard Watson, Alex J. Flores. Shout out to my team, the Team Kane. Shout out to my boy Miami Flo, a.k.a. Kane Up. That's my guy. Concrete down there in Tampa, Florida, from my hood, 1K, what it do? And shout out to my boy John over at the Canes blog doing his thing. What up, John? I see you. Now the last group of the night. The Truth Miami Hurricanes. Shout out to Ralph Blanco, Bruce Daniels, Malcolm E. Simmons, and my boy, the big dog, my guy, Mr. Larry White Jr. You already know what it is. It's you talk, baby. Let's go.
It's you talk, baby. It's you talk, baby.
Hey, shout out to everybody, man. What's good? What's good? What's been going on? Like I said, I hope everybody is having a great Friday, man. What it do? What it do? Tony Kidd, I see you, boy. What's going on, Tony Kidd? What's going on? Shout out, man, to everybody in the chat, man. My guys, man. All of my guys. Yeah, man. Jeffrey O'Neal, Larry Frank birthday, man. We're going to talk about some things tonight, man. Hey, man, I'm going to try to get him back in, man. I think he tried to call me, man, so he may be chiming back in, Jeffrey O'Neal. I don't know, man. I ain't heard from this guy, man. You know, he big time baller, man. If he listening, man. Yeah, I'm talking about the Duchess of South Carolina, man. The king of South Carolina, E. Berry. If you did call me, call back up here, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about Rob Likens and Cuban Kane, like I say. Feel free to go ahead and start calling up, though, man, because Larry Frank is going to be coming on with his U-Tape at 8:30. And guess who's calling in and want to join the show, y'all? Guess who's calling in about to join the show? But we're going to have to do something about this, y'all, because me and him ain't already had a talk about this. So before I even bring him in the screen, I'm looking at his face. I don't give a damn how he looking right now, but we done talked about this. But I'm gonna keep him off until I get. I'm gonna keep him off until I get ready. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to bring him in because we got a phone call too. I think that's Cuban Kane. Let me bring him in. There you go, right there, y'all. But let me answer this phone call because I got to keep ranting about some things. Hey, it's you talk, man. What's going on? Call the station name and where you calling from.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Cuban Kane, can you hold on just a minute for me? Can you just give me 1 minute, man? I got a special guest that just came in. Well, he's not a special guest. He's my homeboy. He's my brother, but you know what I'm saying? We done had to talk about this Cuban Kane, about being on time. You know what I'm saying? We got a time. So let me welcome him to the show real quick, Cuban Kane. I get back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, I bring to you, man, no other than the man himself. The man himself, Mr. E. Gray is in the building. Y'all see how red he turned it? He know he wrong. He know he wrong, y'all. Y'all see how red he turned it? You see? E. Grizzy is in the building. What's going on, big dog?
Man, what's up, man? Boy, hey, look, man, go ahead and beat me up. I'm
gonna do it when we get off the line. When we get off, man. But let me get my boy Cuban Kane. I ain't talked to Cuban Kane in a long time. Cuban Kane, shot your homeboy, Cuban Kane.
E. Gray sound like a typical Falcons fan. They always late, always losing, always late to the game. Typical Falcons fan.
That's what they do.
That's what he is.
That's what they do. That's what they do, Cuban Kane.
Hold up. First of all, Cuban Kane, we're never late. We're just early. We're too early. As case in point, with the Super Bowl, we was too damn early. We showed up too damn early and didn't know how to goddamn be there with it near the end. So it is what it is. I was late. We on time a little too early.
Foxes never show up. But hey, Devin.
Yo.
I need your address because I'm gonna send you some Nets shirts. So you know when the Nets win the championship, I don't want you talking about the Lakers had to go to church and all this stuff. So just give me your address. I can send you a Brooklyn Nets shirt, and you can be happy about the Nets winning the championship.
Is it my turn?
So now you a Nets fan?
Oh, that's what handle my light work. Handle my light work, EJ. Please go ahead. Go ahead, EJ.
First of all, you know what? I want to say this, Cuban Kane. First of all these newfound Nets fans. Let me explain something to the newfound Nets fans. It's fine. If you want to be a Nets fan, that is fine. That's great. Now, let me explain why you won't win the damn championship. Because you can't play enough games together to get any kind of damn groove together. One of them is always hurt, especially Kevin Durant. Always hurt. All these people, for the life of me, they think that it's a special thing because you signed Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin is washed. He is washed. He hasn't been shit since, I don't know when he was a Clipper. He's played what? Maybe 10 games this year, and the man has not recorded a dunk. He was known as for dunking the ball. Not that dunking the ball is anything but winning games or being productive, but we known as Blake Griffin as being the guy to being highlighted and dunking the ball. And the man has not dunked the ball in the 10, 12 games that he's played in all year. He can't even get off the ground. As a matter of fact, as of right now, he can't even get in the game. He can't even play. He's washed. He jumped over too many kids back in the day in the slam dunk contest. He's just washed. So for all the newfound Brooklyn Nets fans,
including Cuban Kane, Cuban Kane, and I'm so disappointed in you, Cuban Kane. I'm like, how can you call up here and talk about another team and don't even mention your team? So I just guess you just feel like, man, I ain't got no chance. I know I ain't even making. I know I ain't doing nothing. So I'm gonna jump on the Brooklyn Nets. Is that what it is, Cuban Kane?
I don't appreciate you guys labeling me a Nets fan.
Why are you gonna call up here talking about another team, Cuban Kane, besides your own? How?
Because I'm a LeBron hater.
Oh my God!
That's what I am.
Oh my God!
That's what I am.
Oh my God! What did LeBron do to you?
I'm a LeBron hater. He came to Miami. He should have never came to Miami.
And you took the championships when he was down there. He gave you 2 chips, and you took them.
He would have never won a championship. He would have been Carmelo Anthony. He would have never gone to Miami because he was not going to win the championship.
It doesn't matter, man, Cuban Kane. He got you 2 championships. Well, give him 2 championships. He got you. Give him back then, Cuban Kane.
I got this, D. I bet you was loving LeBron James when he was down in Miami.
You know he was. Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. We just need some pictures. We need some pictures.
No, there you were.
I'm a Wade fan. I was,
And you was a LeBron fan too when he was down there.
No, I didn't. I never liked LeBron. I was so pissed at Pat Riley for taking his sorry ass in.
Oh my God.
That's here and over there. Raiders still suck. Falcons still suck. Hawks suck. The Hawks, you're a Hawks fan, Igor? You're a Hawks fan?
No, man.
He's
Like,
He a Laker, man. But anyway, let me. Listen, man. Let's get into the lecture at hand, man. Let me ask you this question, man. Let's get to it because we got Larry Frank coming on with his U take at 8:30. So check this out, man. What do you think about Rob Likens saying that he's feeling comfortable in 2021 with the wide receivers this year? What do you think about that?
I don't care. I don't care. I want to bring up a different subject because until these dudes play, I particularly don't care what they say or do in the offseason. I have a question that I had with one of my homeboys. Mm-hmm. What has changed with the 2000 Hurricanes versus every other team between them, between that time? And the answer is the strength and conditioning team. If you notice, all of our Hurricanes teams, since we won the championship, at the end of the year, we keep losing games. True or false? At the end of the year, we always are, we're always losing games. So I was like thinking, is it strength and conditioning? Because when we had Tommy Moffitt, which is not at LSU, our players looked like grown men, and they lasted till the bowl games, the playoffs, or whatever, the BCS games. But now our teams, if you just look at them, every year at the end of the year, we get our asses beat down. If you think about the year we were undefeated, we went up against Pittsburgh. We got our ass beat by Pittsburgh, Wisconsin, and who else? LSU, right? This year, we lost to North Carolina, and I'm talking about at the end of the year. We lost to North Carolina and Oklahoma State. The year prior towards that, we lost to FIU, Louisiana Tech, and Duke at the end of the year. I'm trying to figure out, why do we suck at the end of the year? Is it our players getting smaller because we play in South Florida and we lose weight? It's like we seem to get pushed around every year at the end of the year. Do you guys have an answer for that? Especially you, Egret, because I know you play football. I mean, what's up with that? At the end of the year, we seem to lose. Is it a strength and conditioning thing, or it can't be coaching because it's been happening with every single coach? Does that make any sense?
I think it was just like really Cuban Kane, the wrong core of guys, man, honestly. And now the ones that we have that maybe a better core of guys are young. So I think you're starting to see that change for a collective group. Yeah, we had some mishaps and shortcomings in the last couple of years, but I don't know if we can really answer that. We're going to see how it goes this year. Now, this year, if they do the same shit near the end of this year, then, we can readdress that. But I think that comes along with what we had. Now, you got to look at the program at the point that it's at, Cuban Kane. We're bringing in talent, and kudos to my guy Manny Diaz for pointing the program in the direction that they're going with all of this new talent, whether it's transfers through the transfer portal, bringing these guys in that decommitted from another school or whatever brought in. And we're building up a set of young core of guys, and we're building up their young. Because if you look at it 2 years ago, the youngest guys the most veterans that we had on the team came through the transfer portal. So they didn't grow up through the program, and it really was a new program when Manny took it over, even though he got it from Mark Richt. So it's about bringing your kind of people in. That's what he's done the last 2 years. Now it's year 3. Now we have more young guys coming in, nothing but a transportal. So we're going to see what they sitting on as far as what their regimen, what they doing, and, getting their bodies together, lasting to the end of the year. Throw this year out the window because it was a COVID year. It's really weird for everybody. But we're going to really see this year because hopefully we get some kind of normalcy this year. So, I get what you're saying, Cuban Kane. I don't want to base it on anything other than that. I don't want to pigeonhole to that. I just want to see what we can do going forward, man.
Just think about it. How many bowl games we've won since we won the championship? We won in the blue turf.
We can go back to Al Golden and Randy Shannon and all of that era, man.
Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah.
And why I got you on the phone, because this my homeboy who is a Panthers fan, he called me yesterday, and I meant to tell you about this, D. He was telling me about 2 guys that just retired. One of them is Greg Olsen. Just retired, officially retired to Carolina fan. Only reason why I bring this up, of course, you know, Greg Olsen is Hurricane. Greg Olsen had the audacity, didn't curse this, and I really want to say another bad word, but he had the audacity to say that, yeah, talking about his past growing up playing football, he played at Notre Dame and then he transferred to Miami, and he was so nervous when he got to Miami that he didn't know if he was going to get any playing time in play. He was talking about all the good players before him and how great the program was. And then he said he got a chance to start and play. He said it was so crazy back then because I didn't know I was going to play. That was back when we were great. He said, not the team now. And everybody laughed at the fucking press conference. And I'm sitting there like, well, goddamn, Greg Olsen, you gonna throw your alma mater, your alum, under the bus? I understand we're not what we were in the early 2000s, but you could have kept that shit to yourself. When I tell you they were laughing, they was goddamn kikiing and shit, like somebody said that Eddie Murphy joke or something. You know what I'm saying? And I felt the type of way. Greg Olsen, we got to remind you to bring you to the front of the pulpit. We got to talk to you, Greg Olsen. But I don't like that. But
Well,
I said to say that.
whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? It's the Kane's fault.
It's the Kane fault. You can't. Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah. We are laughing matter right now. We can't get mad. You know, we are a joke now. I mean, think about it. We lost to Louisiana Tech, FIU, and Duke last year.
Absolutely. So Cuban Kane, that brings me to my point and why I brought it up, is even though I'm mad at Greg Olsen saying that, but it's the damn truth.
It's the truth.
Because it was so sad of all these bowl games. Devin would tell you, that I was so distraught a year ago, or over a year ago, when we lost that damn bowl game. And the fashion that we lost it in, it was just so sad, man. I mean, we looked like one of these damn D3 schools, not even a DT.
Yep.
I mean, a D2 school, not even, a D3 school, man. It looked bad, bro.
All right, Cuban Kane.
Was that Louisiana Lafayette? Was that Louisiana Lafayette?
Louisiana Tech.
La
Tech. Hey, Cuban Kane, go ahead and give your departed words. We finna get ready to get into it here pretty soon, so we're gonna talk about it a little bit. What you got to say before we get you out of here?
I just want to see the quarterbacks develop. Hopefully number 3 and number 8 transfer on both sides. No, not number 3, number 6 and number 8. Sorry, number 6 and number 8. I still needed to transfer until that happens. I ain't happy, but I just really hope that these 2 quarterbacks develop and just hit the weight room. That's pretty much it. Hit the weight room, and just keep progressing, keep doing better. Last year we went 8-3. Hopefully this year we go whatever in 2. Just one game improvement every year. So that's all I got, fellas.
Okay, brother. All right, man. We appreciate the call like always, man, and you stay safe, man.
Will do. All right, then, fellas.
Okay, brother.
All right, keep it.
Later.
All right, yeah.
I mean, he made a good point.
Let me address Jeffrey O'Neal. Jeffrey O'Neal, you got one more time, bro. Sitting there talking about my Falcons. Talking about y'all been like the Falcons we've been like the Falcons for the last 20 years. Come on, man. Hey, look here. At least we've been to a Super Bowl. Falcons been to a damn Super Bowl. Hurricanes ain't been the shit in the last 20 years. Not less than 20, but you know what I mean. Don't talk about my Falcons, man. We good to go. We gonna be all right. I
think Cuban Kane posed a good point though, man. I don't know if it's necessarily, man, the strength and conditioning, man. We'll see, like you say. I'm still banking on his coaching. That's just me, man. We got new coaches in, man. I want to see what they're gonna do with these guys. And my thing is, man, it's gonna tell the tale this year, man. I mean, is it talent? Do we got talent, man? I mean, we're going to see, man, because my thing is, I know we got good coaches. Everybody know what T-Rob is. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see if T-Rob can come out of here and get the best out of that defensive bike group. And I want to see if Jess Simpson can coach up this defensive line like he had it planned before he left to go to the Falcons. And we got to see what Aristide going to do with the linebackers. We seen Packy last year. I mean, they retained him for whatever reason. It is what it is now. But we got to see, man, like, can they actually coach these guys? Like, we got bodies, E. My thing is, I want the talent, though, man, to go with it, man. Like, don't just, like, I seen the guy decommit. I seen the defensive end that we had in the 2022 class decommitted. He was a 3-star, man, and for what I seen on tape, man, he was just okay, E. He was just okay. Yeah. And my thing is, are we recruiting players just to have numbers and to say that, you know, we're getting higher up in like the recruiting class, or are we actually trying to look at players and seeing that if we're going to get the full potential out of them when they get to campus? I don't want just bodies, man. I want talent, E. I want to see like Nesta Flash when I watched him coming out of high school. Now, you can see the potential out of a Nesta Severa. You know what I'm saying? You can see the, but it's like I just think sometimes we're getting these guys and they're just hype. They got numbers beside, they got the stars beside the helmets, and they're not produced when they get to the school. John Ford, for instance. Well, what are we going to see out of John Ford this year? He's like a fifth-year senior, E-grade. Are we going to see anything out of John Ford this year? Anything? It's time to flash. It's time.
I don't know. John Ford probably 32 years old, so he should do something. But, you know, I agree with you when you say that, like, you know, forget about the stars and the numbers on the star, whatever. To me, probably in the past, I agree with you over the past years. Maybe it looks like that. But now that's what's so important with the new crop of coaches that are coming. You know, from a recruiting standpoint and everything, they're actually recruiting talent. And for me, it's not, and I always said this, it's not about being a 3-star or 5-star. It's all about, can you recruit talent? Because let's face it, in the early 2000s, man, we didn't have 5 stars on the team. They played like 5 stars. They were 5-star talent, but guess what? The people that rate these guys didn't rate them as 5 stars. Ed Reed was rated as a 3-star, 2 or 3-star. Santana Moss wasn't even rated because he was a track star. So, you know, people got to get off these stars and ratings.
Right.
I look at it like this, man. My boy, shout out to Lafayette Cole if he on tonight. But Lafayette Cole, one of my guys, he always said, man, damn those stars. One thing he brought up, he said, man, if you got to look at what other schools are looking at these. He said it can be a 2-star, 3-star, but if you look at who they got offers from, it could be a 3-star D, and it say Alabama, LSU, Clemson, this and that third. They letting you know it don't matter about the damn star. They looking at them.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, that's not all of them, but it happens like that. But at the same time, you got to know talent.
Right, and that's my thing.
Talent and what you can work with, but it's also having the people to develop the talent. And so that's what I think that we're moving in the right direction, to being able to pick the talent and to develop the talent. That's what we're going to have to see over the next few months and the next couple of years or whatever, hopefully real soon. So
Most definitely.
I think we're moving in the right direction.
Most definitely, man. I'm also glad to see that Avantae Williams and Air Blades, you know, they done been cleared, man, medically to come on bike, man, and start bike playing, man. That was good to hear, too. You
Absolutely.
know, because, you know, those guys was out, man, here last year, and they couldn't participate, man, during the season, but they've been medically cleared to come bike, man. So good to see that, man. And I'm also hearing, too, E-Gray, that they're thinking about moving Jalen Harrell to cornerback. You know, he was slated to be a safety when he came out in the 2020 class. Was it 2019? The safety, Jalen Harrell. They're talking about sliding them over now to cornerback, and we need the depth. We need more bodies.
We need the depth. He probably wasn't a safety to begin with. You know, and that's another thing that's important with the new coaches and the new people we have in place is just knowing where to put people, man.
Right.
You know, everybody that's a DB, they're not a safety or they're not a corner. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a whole different thing to be able to corner, be able to cover people. You know, it's another thing where, you know, it's a difference between safety and corner, man. It just is. Even though they're both defensive backs, it's a difference. You know that.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between, you got some hybrids that can play defensive end and linebacker, but everybody ain't a linebacker. Every linebacker ain't a defensive end, and every defensive end ain't a linebacker.
I totally agree.
So
Keisha Hibbert, what's up?
The right people in the right place, man.
What's up, Keisha Hibbert? We see you in the building, man. Josh Harris, what you say? Jonathan Ford will be the Falcons' first-round pick.
Hey, man, y'all better leave my damn Falcons alone, man. I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you.
That is wild, man. Don't do it like that, Josh. Keisha, what's up, man? What's going on, Keisha? How you been, sweetheart? But yeah, E-Gray, man. You know, I guess that's my thing. I'm with you, too, on that, E-Gray, man. I just want to see the best players out there on the field, man. We got our boyfriend coming to the show, man, Larry Frank. We'll continue this after he give his U-tape.
Absolutely.
Coming in right now, we got our boy in the building, man. I'm gonna bring him in like I brought my boy E. Gray in, man. Louisiana's finest, himself, Mr. Larry Frank Jr. And we want to say happy birthday to our guy, Mr. Larry Frank Jr. on behalf of Utah. Go ahead, E. Gray. Go ahead, E. Gray.
Junior, happy birthday! Wow!
Man, look, thank you. We turned another one. We made another one. Another 365, and we was blessed enough to see it, man. Nothing but just praises going up, and thank you, man, to both of y'all for the birthday wishes, man. Great to be alive, man. How y'all doing tonight?
Great, sir. How you doing?
We good, man. Blessings to you, bro. Happy birthday, man. It's the one day. Larry Frank, I always tell this to people that, you know, your birthday, it ain't Christmas. Look, you got Christmas and all these man-name holidays, whatever. Your birthday is your true holiday, brother. So happy birthday to you. Enjoy it. I hope you've been enjoying it. And God bless you. And I wish you many, many more, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. As I get older, you know what, man? A lot of people, you know, and I'm not knocking them. They make a big deal out of it, you know, having a big old party and celebrations and all of that. But I'm just simple with mine, man. It's like, listen, I'm just glad to wake up, man. Because, you know, at the age that we're at, man, in our middle ages, you know, it's a blessing to wake up and see another one, you know, because a lot of people I know, a lot of people I know haven't made it to where I'm at. So nothing but blessings, man. But no doubt, thanks for the love, man. I really appreciate it, man. Look, I was watching, I was listening, and if I could kind of shed some light on what Cuban Kane was talking about, I see what he was saying about the strength and conditioning. To an extent, I think that may be a part of it. But I really think, win or lose, good season or bad season, I think, you know, when they have those late season collapses, it's more or less due to the mindset of the team. You know, if the team is doing good, it's like, okay, well, you kind of getting ahead of yourself. You kind of taking for granted what's in front of you. Kind of like a couple of years ago, you know, 10-0, 11-0 before the Pitt game, you know, for Thanksgiving. I think they kind of was counting the chickens before the eggs hatched. And indirectly, that goes back to coaching. Because when you're coaching them up, you gotta, you know, you don't just coach X's and O's. You gotta instill that mindset. So if you're doing good, if you're 10-0 or 11-0, you know, hey man, you gotta stay humble. You can't get that swole head. And I really believe a couple of years ago they took Pitt light. They took Pitt light, which transcended into that L, and then transcended into getting embarrassed by Clemson, and a winnable game against Wisconsin in the Orange Bowl that transcended into a third consecutive L. You know, so that was on the on the strength of being good. Whenever the team's not doing good or just kind of having an up and down season, as we've seen more recently, it's a lot easier because I think the team just packs it in and kind of gives up. You know, it's like, whatever, we ain't playing for nothing. We ain't gonna make no marquee bowl game. We not making the playoffs. So you know what? It is what it is. Season over. Let's just get this over with, get the semester over with, try it again in the spring. So if Cuban Kane, if that's just a little insight as to, you know, an answer to your question, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it could be the preparation and the strength and conditioning, but I definitely think it's the mindset, which indirectly comes from the coaching or lack thereof. So yeah, that's what I got to say about that.
You know what? I agree with you definitely on that. And I think that a lot of times, and it's not just with us, I look at a lot of the young folks, man, in different sports, and which they just keep their eye on football for the moment, in different programs, keeping their eye on the prize. If you remember, man, a lot of them guys in our heydays, back in whether it was the 80s, 90s, or the early 2000s, guys came to the U with their eye on the prize saying, you know what? I came here. Yeah, I'm going to do what I do, give my grades. You know what I'm saying? But my goal is to make it to the league, to make it to the next level, to take care of my family. And they treated it like that in practice. You talk to all of the old heads. It was so much competition. You know, we talked about this before, this being competition. Competition breeds champion. And You know, it was just like that through the early years or the previous years for us. And it got lost in the sauce with the success that we had up until, say, the early 2000s, back when Larry Coker was recruiting. I know you remember this, Larry Frank. You remember when they had a crew of people that was recruiting these 5-stars, the Kyle Wright era. I call it the Kyle Wright era because Kyle Wright was considered a 5-star and the Gatorade Player of the Year. And he had a bunch of other players that we just got. They didn't even go look at these guys play, man. They say, hey, well, they 5-stars. We'll send a letter, send an offer. We at the pinnacle, at the point, y'all come play with us. And we didn't know if they had that grit to be able to last in South Beach. And you got to remember, Larry Frank, you know this too, D. Both of y'all know this. South Beach ain't built for everybody to come down there and play in Coral Gables, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we thrive with the guys that we had throughout the years. Most of them was from down there. They used to it. You bring them guys from other parts of the country, and they come down in that good weather and all the beautiful women and the luxuries that come with being in South Beach, and they just fall off. They ain't keep staying focused, and they ain't keeping their eye on the prize, what I was talking about before, of making it to the next level, of making it to the league. And if you look at the transition of the years from the early 2000s, by 03, 04, 05, when it started falling off, all the way until now, you see a wave of players that made it, didn't make it, made it, didn't play it. I'm talking about some talented players that we thought would be big on the next level in the NFL. They got drafted late, whatever it was, and they turned out not to be a damn thing, or not to what we thought that they could be. And I think that has a lot to do with the leadership that we missed through those years, because Larry Coker was just the guy to step in to take over. They moved him out, and then after that, we had a wash full of others. So I think that it's important that we install the leadership back with our program. You know, whether it is Manny Diaz if he's the guy, but he's starting to put some things in place. And I think we're moving in the right direction. But I'm telling you, Larry Frank, I think these boys lost focus, or at least the ones that we were getting in the last few years. I'm hoping that these boys we got now has a different set of mind frame going forward, because it's lost, bro.
Right. Well, you always, you got to think about it. In the heyday of Miami, it was 3 factors that went into these players coming to the school, and it was simple. I mean, you came here to play football, and then you came here to win championships, and by virtue of playing football and winning championships, you basically just pickle rolled that into getting to the league. So it was like it was a process. So for those that didn't make it to the league, guess what? You still had something to be proud of, because if you didn't make it to the NFL, guess what? You were still part of something special. You were still a part of history. You were still a legend. So, and the thing about it, also, the competition feared you. Like, if you remember the Orange Bowl back what it used to be, nobody wanted to play Miami in the OB. Not at night. You were scared to play Miami because you knew what was going to happen. You was going to get slaughtered. It was nothing you could do. And it was just intimidating. The atmosphere was intimidating. And it's just like, when you got a college football team where the guys can get more love and get more popularity and more notoriety than the Miami Dolphins, we talking like with Dan Marino, that era, Irvin and them, they going into the club. Yeah, it's like the Dolphins players ain't getting the recognition and the love in the clubs and all around the city like the Canes were. I mean, that's major. And also you got to keep in mind you had charismatic coaching. Jimmy Johnson was a charismatic coach. Schnellenberger, he was very just straightforward and forthcoming. Like he knew when he got there, he said straight up, we're going to have a championship team within 4 years. Dennis Erickson was charismatic in a different way because he didn't do it the way that the players were used to, because they were kind of used to a loud, boisterous, cocky Jimmy Johnson. But Dennis Erickson was charismatic in his own way because he just marched to the tune of a different drum. But his method still worked. It resulted in a championship. Butch Davis, I love Butch Davis because Butch was like, just that player's coach. You wanted to play for him. Butch wasn't really loud and boisterous or nothing like that, but Butch just had a way he could reach those players and just get the best out of those players. And it took him a while to build it, especially, in the mid-'90s or whatever. But once he got to the cusp of that 2000 season before he left to go coach the Browns, he had built it. And that charismatic coaching, you lost that with Larry Coker.
Mm-hmm.
He got the keys to a Cadillac and didn't know what he had.
Didn't know how to drive it.
Because he just wasn't, exactly, he couldn't drive it. He wasn't charismatic. I mean, I remember watching him. It's like, all right, the team is on autopilot. Like, the team is dominating and doing what they're doing because of the talent, not because of the coaching. And the charismatic and what you saw was the players. It's like, and guess what? When players, not to cut you off, but just to say this right quick, when you got a charismatic coach and you get in a situation where the players are kind of, facing adversity, that's where the coaching comes into play and the players feed off that energy. Well, guess what? If you don't have a charismatic coach, players start, facing adversity. Well, if they don't have no energy to draw from the top, they're going to pack it in. And that's
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a part of being a head coach, Larry Brant. I'm going to tell you like this. We can talk about all the great Hurricanes from the past, right?
Right.
We can name them all. But do you know, to me, who the baddest MF came to me ever? Ain't about what the accomplishments were as far as national championships, stats, and this, and that, and the third for me. It's about the resiliency and what they proved to me, man. If I had to say one Kane is the baddest MF ever to me, is Frank Gore. And the reason why I say that, this man blew out both knees in his college career, still got drafted high, and look, he's still in the NFL till this day. There's players that blow out one knee and don't make it out of high school, don't make it out of college, but they make it to the pros and don't last maybe a couple years. This man blew out one knee, he blew out another knee, and said he was determined to take care of his mama and his family, and did that and then some. That's why, to me, no knock on all the other kings. I love them all. But Frank Gore, to me, showed the epitome of what. And the reason why I mention that is because that was a part of the stable of talent that was there back then, back when your boy Larry Coker was on autopilot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was allowed to be on autopilot. They go to show you the talent that your boy Butch Davis brought in. And that's why Butch Davis was that guy, man. I mean, once they paid people, we can talk about the heroes of the world and this, and that, and third. Hell, Alabama and all them other goddamn teams, they paying players under the table some kind of way. Tennessee got sloppy with it. They dumbass paying people with McDonald bags, cash back, but it goes down. But what I'm saying is, it's just getting the talent however you can get it, but you got to get the right talent. We had the right talent, forever what you want to say about the University of Miami. Damn it, we had the right talent. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, when it's all said and done, bro, you got to look at it like this, man. I say it a million times, and I'm going to say it until I can't say it no more. Butch Davis could have been Nick Saban before Nick Saban was Nick Saban, because he had all of the pedigree, the winning pedigree, to make it happen. The thing about it was he just left so soon to go to Cleveland, because that 2000 Miami Hurricanes team should have won a national championship. The computer shafted them when Oklahoma won that national championship. The 01 team did it, and the pass interference versus Ohio State robbed us. We should have won 3 straight. And I feel, I'm just going to be honest, we win 3 straight, we keep reeling them in, we win 4 straight. We might not win 5 straight, but then we go on to win 5 or 6 or 7 of 9 or whatever. We are not just a team that would have won that 5th championship in 2001. At this point, if things wouldn't have went the way it did, we would be right up there, maybe approaching Notre Dame with 11, 12, 13 titles, because that's how good we were, that's how dominant we were, and that's how much we were ahead of the curve from everybody else, because nobody else was touching us from a talent standpoint. That lack of charismatic coaching allowed Saban and these other guys to catch up, and also led to our demise. And when Randy Shannon came in, like I said, much love to Randy Shannon because he tried to clean the program up. But Randy Shannon was trying to do it the right way. And the irony is, Randy Shannon won championships during that era. You know, so he knew what it took. He just had to flip the script because he was the head man in charge. So with all that being said, you know, that lack of charismatic coaching and that lack of just an attack is what really, really did it and kind of went led to the demise of Miami as we know it. So now that's why I say Manny has flashes of charisma. He don't show it all the time, but from time to time you will see it. And if he can just unlock it just enough and let it transcend down to the players and his assistant coaches. I mean, come on, man. You still got, like I said, you got Ed Reed there. Who's more charismatic? One of the more charismatic players than Ed Reed.
Oh, Ed
at
Reed,
the time.
is still, of course.
Exactly. So you got him, and then when that trickles down, you know, and look, T-Rob, we got to see how it plays out. But I'm just looking at some of the interviews from T-Rob. He looks like he's going to be one that's got a little bit of charisma to it. So what you have now is you have some guys that have the tendencies to have it. You just got to see how much of it they can unlock and how does it transcend down to the football program. So, I mean, you know, hey, I agree with you on Frank Gore being the baddest MFer to come out because of that very reason, you know. Because, like, look, everybody want to say Ray Lewis, but let's be 100. Ray Lewis didn't really become Ray Lewis until he went to Baltimore. Now, he was a Hurricane great. He did his thing. But Ray Lewis, he really became Ray Lewis as we know him, that dominant Ray Lewis as we know him, that legend in Baltimore.
Yeah, because I don't think he was any better. I don't think he was any better than Michael Barrow or Jesse Armstead when they was there.
Out of my mouth. D, you said Michael Barrow. You took the words out of my mouth.
Or Jesse Armstead. You know what?
But I'm gonna say this. Let me say this real quick. Larry Frank, let me say this real quick. I want to touch on this point because my point is that, you know, we can talk about, say, with Randy Shannon, with his era, right? But people got to understand they brought in Donna Shalala, who is now a politician in Washington. They brought in all these people because, first of all, Butch Davis saw the writings on the wall. I don't give a damn. Butch Davis might not admit it to this day. He right now, Butch Davis say, I shouldn't have left. I shouldn't have left. You took the money because the private school wasn't going to pay you on paper what the Cleveland Browns could pay you. And you knew the program was already dirty. And so you left and you knew what was coming. And you missed out on that national championship. And you missed out on what could have been multiple championships. And so you left. You knew the writings was on the wall. And so when the shit finally hit the fan and the things got exposed, the media in all of America and college football America was ready to throw all of the dirt on the University of Miami that they could because, let's face it, everyone except for Miami Hurricanes hated the Miami Hurricanes. They hated what they stood for. And that's documented back to the 80s. Now, my point is that college football, and credit my man, even though I hate him and love him sometimes, Colin Cowherd, he even says it. University of Miami needs to be good. University of Southern Cal needs to be good. University of Texas needs to be good in order for college football to be relevant. And it's facts. Yes. It's facts. And so we went through our period. We went through our period where we got thrown mud on, the whole Nevin Shapiro and all of that, and you bring in Randy Shannon, try to clean it up, a former player, this, that, and the third, that grew up playing in the era when we was the most dirtiest, with a regime of people that's the head of an institution that is trying to become politicians, which they are now. It's not a good mix. They're trying to clean up this and say, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. It ain't about the money being thrown under the table. It's about you can't do even the simple stuff. So it was a tough position for Randy Shannon to even be in. And even when they brought in, that's why they brought the used car salesman in after him, Al Golden. But had
Right.
Having said that, we've gotten through all of that shit and we're still standing. And so when people give Manny Diaz a hard time, and I'm going to tell you something, people gave Mark Rick a hard time, and I give Mark Rick all the props in the world because his shift and taking over and coming to the U for that small period of time, it helped change the narrative of us just a little bit. Now, I'm glad he left when he did because he needed to. They pushed his ass out. You know, the people of the big dogs, you know, the money team of the U, and people know who they are. If you know who they are, them big boosters. They're the big money guys. They said, goddamn, Mark, you got to go. We love you, but you got to go. You did a lot for us, but you got to go. But it was time for him to go. He changed the narrative, shifted focus, and boom. So that's why I say you got to give Manny a little bit of time. I think he's doing the right thing, bringing in the right people. Got to give it a little bit of time. You got to remember, man, we're renegades. Miami, the University of Miami is renegades. We are what we are. But I tell you this, I think we're closer than the University of Texas. I think we're closer than the University of Southern Cal. Even though they're creeping up trying to make moves, you know, University of Texas got Sarkeesian. They think they're moving in the right way. University of Southern Cal, they think they're moving the right way. But we are the big dogs, us and them, and maybe a couple others. We are the pinnacle of college football. Because let's face it, nobody really, other than regionally, pays attention to college football on a national level other than the big names. Let's just face it. We are one of the big names. We are what we are. And I'm telling you,
if you had to put Miami, if you had to go ahead and separate it by tiers, you would have tier 1, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, the usual suspects, the blue bloods. Okay. Tier 2. Right. Yeah, the trailblazers, the leaders, the faces of college football. That's tier 1.
Gotcha.
All right. Tier 2, that's where you would have to go with, like, say, Florida, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, the teams that are kind of making, you know, they got blue blood ties, and historically they've been blue bloods, but they fell off, but they've come back. They kind of hit and miss. But you can expect them to, if they can have a couple of good seasons in a row, they can and get into that title picture, they can launch themselves up to tier 1. That's what I would consider those schools. We are on the cusp. We're tier 3 right now. We are on the cusp of being back to tier 2. Because if you look at tier 3, that's where I put Miami. I put Texas. I put Southern Cal. I put Michigan. Those schools right there are also schools, like you said, they have to be relevant for college football to be relevant. Everybody knows that football is boring when it's just Alabama and Clemson every year. It's boring. It's horrible. Yeah, nobody wants to see. Like if you have either or, I'm telling you, everybody is tired of Alabama. They're tired of Clemson. You know, the Alabama-Ohio State game this year, if you tuned in to watch it, it was probably because you were hoping Ohio State would upset Alabama. Otherwise, you probably didn't watch the national championship game.
Right, and Larry,
because you knew what was going to happen.
Yep, Larry Frank. So to harp on your point, like what I'm saying, and see what I agree with you on your point to say we're tier 3 right now. But see, with the teams that you named, there's no tier 2 for them. It's either tier 3 where you named them at, or it's tier 1. And see, the thing about it, because they're so pulverizing of names, and that's why college football needs them. They need them bad to be in the tier 1, like you said. It ain't no tier 2 for them. They're in tier 3 right now, like you said, but they need to be in tier 1. 3-4 years ago, whatever it was, 4 years ago, when we kicked Notre Dame ass, Miami was on ABC 3 weeks in a row, Saturday on ABC. They would ride us to the goddamn wheels fall off because we're the biggest draw nationally. We are bigger than all of them nationally. Anytime that you does something remotely, you know, they make fun of it in the sense, oh, what's the first thing they say, Larry Frank, is the U back. They don't say that about USC. They don't say that about Texas. No. They don't say that about Michigan. They always say about the U. it's messed up because I hate to admit my son was right, and he doesn't like the Hurricanes. He talk shit about the game. He says, "Daddy, y'all ain't nothing but the Dallas Cowboys of college football." It's terrible, but he's right. If you look at the past, when Dallas ran things in the 90s, we ran things with it, but we are still the biggest brand of college football. So everybody pays attention when you see this orange and green. They like, well, damn, what is my? We can go. Look, this year right now, I tell you what, man, Frank and D, let us beat Alabama convincingly. I ain't gonna say convincingly. Let us just beat them the first game of the season, right?
Just win the game. Yeah.
Just win the game and win the next 5 games after that. Watch, Miami is the talk of the town, and they gonna change every game that we got that is flexible. It's gonna be prime time. I guarantee. It's
that North Carolina matchup. That North Carolina matchup is going to be prime time because you're looking at the team that had in Miami's number for the last couple of years, and if Miami comes off of beating Alabama, guess what? It's going to be prime time because that's going to put a spotlight on can Miami get over the hump with that. The Florida State game, as garbage as they is, as much as they suck, that's going to be prime time because that's a rivalry game. So Michigan State, that'll probably be a prime time game because even though Michigan State with Mel Tucker is still kind of getting things together, that's a new squad, they're going to put that game, that's going to be a highlighted game. And you know what everybody talks about, the Miami fan base always asking, is the U back? But facts are facts. And every time Miami wins a big game or starts winning games or becomes relevant or becomes a threat, whenever they do it, you can watch ESPN, you can watch Fox Sports, I don't care what sports channel you watch. If Miami starts making noise, the announcers or the commentators, they're going to start that. Guys, Miami is doing this. They're doing that. Is the U back? Can the U finally say they're back? And that just tells me it goes back to what you said, college football and the announcers and the commentators, they want Miami to be back just as bad as we do. Because they know if Miami is back and Miami becomes what they were, guess what? Because people are tired of Miami and Clemson. Alabama and Clemson. Yeah. They want an alternative. They want an alternative. Guess what? Just like they want Miami back, they want Michigan back. They are praying that Michigan can find a way to get over the hump, beat Ohio State, and get back. They want USC back because guess what? The Pac-12 just ain't the same when Oregon is running it. The Pac-12 meant something when USC was the big dogs in the block. So those blue bloods need to be back, just like with the Big 12. Oklahoma, they're going to win the Big 12 every year. Well, guess what? Can Texas step their game up? Yeah, you can win the Big 12. What is that? The Red River rivalry game. You can win that game. That's cool. But what good does it do you to shock Oklahoma and turn around and lose to TCU and then lose 3 other games that you don't even qualify for the Big 12 championship? So it all boils down to this. We're all peas of the same pod. In order for college football to be relevant, you need these teams to be back. And guess what? I think Miami got next. I think, like you said, and I say the same thing, we are right there on the doorstep of being back. And we've had opportunities every year. Because guess what? If you beat LSU a couple of years ago in Dallas and have some good fortune go your way, guess what? You're back. If you beat Florida a few years ago in Orlando and you run the table and don't have that disastrous season, guess what? You're in a position to be back. If we beat Alabama this year, guess what? You're in position to be back. Next year, we got Texas A&M in College Station. They're getting good right now. They're kind of raising things up right now. They were on the outside looking in for the playoffs. If we find a way to beat them next year, that's an SEC team. Pretty much probably going to be a top 10 team going into the season based off of what they do this year because besides Kellen Mond having gone pro, they still getting the bulk of their team back. Mm-hmm. So going into next season, that's going to be a marquee matchup, especially if our backup quarterbacks can establish themselves and really get it going into next season anyway. So at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, Miami is right there on the cusp of being back. Florida State ain't a threat because they ain't going to do nothing. Florida, they might be a threat here and there, but at the end of the day, we can hang with Florida. They are not invincible. We should have beat Florida with what we had last year. We should have beat them with Jaron Williams and without Red Last. We almost beat them with Enos running the offense. So if we got Lashley running the offense, when we play him in a couple of years, provided he's still here, I see us having more skilled players coming in. You already seeing what's going on. Cody Brown, the transfer, he's adding to the running back room or whatever. We got depth at the running back position. You got Avantae coming back. You got Blades coming back. You got King coming back this year. I mean, the pieces to the puzzle are there. They're falling into place.
Mm-hmm. Nah, you're absolutely right, man. You're right. Yep, I love it, man. I love it. In a minute, as my people say,
it feels good. It feels good. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, like I say, we always optimistic, even if we know we're not gonna do something, because that's what we do. This is the first. This is like really the first time that we know what we're gonna get maybe in the first game, because we know what we're up against. Mm-hmm. But after that game against Alabama, even if you lose that game you can still take that game, and that game can shape you for the rest of the year. Yeah. Don't be surprised if that's not a rematch down the line.
Absolutely.
Either way, if we lose, it could be a rematch where we see them because we can run the table. If we find a way to beat them and they lose, you know that's going to fire them up for the rest of their season. So if we have a great season, it could be a rematch. So you never know.
What's your thoughts on Avantae Williams and Al Blades Jr. being cleared medically coming back, man? Is that a big deal? What you think about that?
It's a major deal. It's a major deal because Avantae is just talented. He's just good. And we were really, I hate to say robbed because that's the wrong choice of words, but it's how I feel. By his medical, it was an undisclosed medical condition. We were robbed of seeing that young talent. I mean, of what he can do. He's a former 4-star or whatever. So for him to be medically cleared and get them reps right now on defense going in the spring, I love it. I've always, and you can go back, man, I've always been a Blades fan. I've always thought Blades he's got the pedigree, he's got the bloodline. I always thought Blades was right there. I just thought the coaching and it just wasn't being laid down for him, to be successful. I thought he had the natural raw talent. He just wasn't turning his head on the swivel. But I think he's got good coaching. I think you're going to see Blades. I think that whole secondary, like I said, man, that secondary is going to be much improved, even DJ Ivey. Now, you got Tyreek Stevenson that's going to lock down that first starting spot. I think, like I said, I think Ivy is going to be your front runner, obviously. But I think if Blades brings it and Takori Couch brings it, Takori Couch is going to be that slot corner. He'll be in that slot corner position. But he can still challenge for corner number 2 if they want to go there. But it's going to be between Ivy and Blades, I think, mostly. So it's going to be much.
Hold on. So you think? Hold on. I ain't mean to cut you off there, Brand. You think they're going to put Couches like a nickel?
I think so because the reason why is because
I can see that.
I think it's more or less because you got Stevenson. If you didn't have Stevenson, now you're going to put Ivy or Blades on one side, and then Couch would probably, contend for that other starting spot. But with Stevenson, you already know. That's why I say it's a blessing in disguise, because you saw what Couch was doing. You saw what Couch brought to the table. So I would have been cool with him getting one of the regular spots.
Right.
But if you got Stevenson locking down cornerback 1, and you got either Ivy or Blades, whoever gets cornerback 2, to put him at a nickel, to put Couch at a nickel, man, that just makes it even better and put the odds more in your favor, because Couch was probably the most consistent corner that we had last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because every outside
and he came
corner,
on, yeah.
You're right, because outside corners they can cover. Corners they can cover outside receivers. A lot of times, some of them can't do slot. You know what I'm saying? Slots are moving parts. They're running in motion. They're doing this and that. And Couch showed me.
He can play on the inside and the outside, though. Couch.
Yes, sir.
He
That's
versatile.
He versatile.
Yes. Yes, he can do both. So if like I say, if they go that route, that's gonna bode well in our favor, and that's really gonna make things look good for us defensively in that secondary. And then, like I say, I'm loving that Avantae Williams is back because I still say my money was on him before he got sick anyway. I thought he was going to be the constant, even with what the debacle that you saw with the secondary. I still thought Avantae Williams would have been that solid piece back there. Now, you get him back, you got Bubba Bolden back. You still got to see what they're going to do with Amari Carter. But, man, I never thought after what that secondary did last year, I would feel so good about them this close, this quickly rather, coming off of last season going into this season.
Because you want to see. You want to see what's going to happen with T-Rod. You want to see what he's going to do with him, huh?
That it's an instant upgrade. It's an instant upgrade. So, I mean, it's like, it's good. I'm just feeling good. The same can't be said on the other side of the ball with 8 and 6. Now, Rob Likens, he got to prove something to me because 8 and 6, them two fools, I'm telling you, I got to see what's going to happen with them two clowns because I'm trying to be optimistic on them two clowns, but I just can't. I'm just hoping Rambo comes in here and just takes over, Hey, man, and like I say, let the young guns.
Larry Frank, we said we was just going to say number 8 and number what?
Number 6.
Hey, Larry Frank, but I read an article with Rob Likens saying that he's feeling more comfortable, man, going into 2021. I was telling E. Gray, he's feeling more comfortable with going 6 deep at the wide receiver spot. He said he didn't feel comfortable last year, man, going 6 deep. He said he feel better, man. So hopefully we'll see how that go this year.
Well, I mean, if you get Rambo, Redding, Smith, you could try either 8 or 6. I ain't going to say both of them. You could try one of them, give one of them a
8 or
shot.
6. Don't say the name. It's 8 or 6. That's it.
8 or 6. You could try one of them.
Matter of fact,
you got to earn it.
We need to petition Larry Frank. Let's do it. You know what? Let's do a petition. We hit up Danny Diaz and all of them and say, look, I understand names on the back of these boys' jerseys and I like it. But number 8 and number 6, they got to take the name off their jerseys until they earn it. They got to be number 8, number 6 with no name on their jersey. They dropped too many pages.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, you take the names off of their back and you can put drop on one and bobble on the back of the other because that's all, you know what I'm saying? That's all I see for them two right there, man. Because like I say, I ain't ever letting that go. Let me tell you something. The only way I let that go, one of them better catch a winning touchdown pass in the ACC championship or catch a winning TD pass in the playoff game or something. That's the only way. And that's only going to let me call your name. That's it. I'm not giving no love whatsoever until you can prove that because for what they did, man, I told you, I got PTSD, man. Every time I look at people, when I see anybody drop a pass, that number could be 14 or 82 or whatever. When I see anybody drop a pass, all I see is 8 and 6. That's all I see.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Larry Frank, man. Hey, we appreciate it, big dog. Thank you, man.
You got it, man. You got it. Like I say, man, I wish y'all a great night, a great weekend, and the Utah family, man. I wish all of y'all a great night and a great weekend. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to try. Hey, and before I go, man, I feel good, man. My Chicago Bulls is only a couple of games from 500. I might be able to talk about basketball.
Hey, I'm trying to make a move, Larry Frank, for Zach LaVine. I know you heard about it, man. I need him.
No, hey, man.
We need some upgrades, E. Boy, I'm so sick of Marc Gasol, E. Boy, I need an upgrade, E.
Hold on. Hey. Look at him, man. You ain't got to look. Listen, man. Don't pull us down. We trying to get out the bucket, man. Don't be trying to pull us back in the bucket, dog, man. Come on, man. Y'all have a great weekend, bro.
All right, man, Larry Frank, man. Hey, happy birthday again, big dog, man. Tell the family we said what up.
Appreciate it.
Hey,
Will do. Appreciate it.
Enjoy your weekend, my brother, and happy birthday, brother.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, man. Y'all take it easy, and I'll holler at y'all on the next one.
All right, Larry Frank. Later, brother.
All right, later.
It's you talk, baby.
I got Larry Frank Jr., man. Eat great, man. It's been real, man. It's been real, big dog. I'm going to let you go ahead and give some departing shots, man, at everybody, man, and tell them goodbye for the weekend. Everybody be safe. Go ahead, Eat great.
Hey, man, you know it's all about the you. It's a wonderful thing. When we all come together, we'll do this, what, in 2 weeks, D?
Yeah. I'm sorry about the videos, y'all. I've been kind of busy, man. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, man, so we'll get back to the videos pretty soon, man. Yeah, man, so.
Not enough time. Look,
it ain't enough time in the day, y'all.
Spring practice be coming up soon. We'll be fine, man. We'll be good. We'll be good.
That's what's up, man. Give your shout-outs, man. Shout out Just Saying, man. Do your thing, man.
Yeah. Make sure y'all subscribe to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like buttons and tell a friend. It's all about the you. You Talk Live, baby.
That's what's up, y'all. Hey, look here, man. I appreciate the commentary like always, y'all. Cuban Kane, thank you guys for calling in, man. Jeffrey O'Neal, Josh Ayers, 904 Hurricane. What it do? Ain't heard from you in a while, brother. Good to hear from you. So, man, we going to get out of here tonight, man. And I enjoyed it, man, like always, man. So 2 weeks. We'll see you in 2 more weeks, man. So everybody stay safe. Everybody stay safe. Take care of yourself, man. We love you guys, man. And y'all know how we start every show. And you know how we end every show. It ain't no us. I got him late, y'all, but I got him on here. I got him late, but I got him on here, y'all. It ain't no us. Without you, baby. And he got the neck to the side, y'all. Check him out. We out, baby. Y'all have a good one, man. Stay safe, man.